Thank you very much for that great reading, Chris. It's great hearing those new words from you. So I thought, in honor of Aaron coming back, that I would read something that I wrote before I came to San Francisco and joined the MFA program, and that I showed her at some point and she thought was awful, and I have since fixed it.
Thank you.
We'll see. So it is untitled at this point, but also I think it works with this theme that Jeff brilliantly came up with, saying that he feels like the readers in this reading are his superheroes and the people he'd want to take into a literary battle. So I will accept that challenge, Jeff. So, untitled. Sunday morning, and I'm in my gray suit, an action figure in my pocket. My mom in her black and white dress. How the sky glides across the tint of her glasses. The silly fantasies we'll create here, waiting on the bus stop. The caped crusader leaping, bright boots cracking the concrete. Morality and muscle brimming beneath the spandex. Don't even try to find that one virtually imperceptible weakness or tussle his perfect head of hair. Put that thing away, she says, as the bus approaches, as if she never wants to see it again. The way she grabs my hand, the things we hold on to here, where no one ever swoops down. Undressing the evening. She sits by the window, she wants to be, she is. Night seeps in her morning. She says the moon looks like the moon and the stars perforate the sky. She's trying to believe. We can fold evening into nightingale, can breathe into it, renounce what's left, and let them say, I've darkened you. Stretched across your window like a city you've never seen, I'm lit for a Friday night apocalypse. Put your fingers on my glass. Slide me open. Yell out, we are, they are, God is, and night falls, dark, dirty, dying. Say the night is a tree and we're perched on its branches. Say we can forget how to fly. I could dance like a dog. I could sing you awake again. This could be tomorrow, yesterday, years ago. Your eyes closed like a prayer. We could race like children under the October sky, wearing nothing but a song. If I could dance like a dog, if I could be your eyes a prayer, Somali girl walking home again, if my skin were water, what color, what texture would it be? A summer rain puddle, would it be murky like a lake? Would you wade through, would you draw buckets of me? Say the night is a child building fortresses in our branches. Say we will hold him. So the next series that I'm working on is called Music for Mussolini. And so far it's 3 poems long. He says the evening was iced tea in his mason jar, and you're so young, you know what he means, how to talk to him. He's stretched across the bed, a barge at sea, wants to be in his chair. Remember when his legs worked? You don't. He wants to watch you run, skip around like his memory, feel your steps. Your mother's not even born yet. How to explain your existence? He could hop the hill faster than the mail truck. Why can't you, he asks, moving his face towards the sun, moving his face toward you. His smile
See it as confirmation. Ignore his hands shaking below the sheet, eyes reflecting the ward walls. If only he could remember, he might know you're not just one luminous tile in that sun-drenched room of hundreds. There's always an occupation and a rifle at someone's back, always a feeling and a clock on the wall, clumped salt in the shaker and ships on the horizon. Be it stars or starvation, compasses are pointing. Embarrassed by all these bodies undone in the daylight, somewhere between Old Testament and tomorrow, you sit on a hill like Li Po, your heart swelling like the feet of Sisyphus. And there's no telling, but I'm certain I'd like to be dust swept from the mausoleum floor. And often there are days like this, when I wake in the same body, and what I want the least shimmers like an earring in the lobe of a lover, and I think you are the broom pushing everything out of reach. And I'll move on to some Jazzphorisms. Maybe start with one that's I read slightly less than the others. Jazzphorism, don't. Don't do as the day dictates. You need to be a bad note now and again. Then the listless will listen. Know what's wrong. And if it wasn't this, it would be something else. A human touch. And nimble fingers to knit these knots, and not for naught, for every noose needs a nape. Or is it every nape needs a noose? Either way, a neck is a nuisance. Jazzphorism, the current scene. In God we tryst. He's the company we keep trying to save. We're laying the devil down in the details, the fine stitching. Cotton is still king, still ivory. Picture it pristine, but a funky indigo under a luminlight. They won't tell you, but something's got to suffer for a smile to fit perfectly upon a lip. And I will end with, if I can find it, Grandpa's Pockets. Summers I spent perched on your lap, and sometimes you'd allow me a search. I'd line my findings along the table, thimble, coins, a button or two, a peach pit from last spring. To keep my fingers busy now that the work's dried up, you told me days were no longer adding up, but carving away. Soon the wind will play me like a flute. You never said what it would sound like. I imagined it'd be like falling snow, so soft I wouldn't hear. When the hospital took your pants, they gave you a gown, a gusty room. We visited every day. I sat close, listened as they made decisions. When it was time, they placed me in the hallway in that cracked vinyl chair, crying, my hands fiddling the thimble, coins, peach pit, buttons, filling my pockets.